Hi everyone, we're super excited to be here today to present our project Flow, Facilitating Lab Optimization and Waste.
Who are we? My name is Lauren, and this is Kylie. We're project partners, and we also happen to be roommates and best friends. Our top goal is improving recycling infrastructure and waste management practices in UCSB research labs. It all started last year in our second year when we were taking lower division intro bio lab courses. We were first introduced to how quickly single-use lab plastic can accumulate.
And we realized that this was going to be something that wasn't specific to teaching laboratories. This was going to be the case all across campus. So, similarly to the medical field, sterility is something that's super important in labs, and so single-use lab materials are inevitable. Additionally, as we went into those lab spaces and we got to explore them, we realized that there were a few more issues. Some labs didn't have recycling receptacles at all, and others who had recycling receptacles didn't have any signage. And so a lot of researchers came to us confused, saying, I have this material, but there's no sign. I don't know what to do with it. Can you please help us?
So we reached out to our contact at Santa Barbara County, and they let us know that regardless of plastic number, plastics that are smaller than 6 inches are not reliably recycled. And this was a huge shock to us because this applies to here at UCSB and at home anywhere in Santa Barbara County, and we knew we had to come up with a creative solution. So we came up with a two-pronged solution, one that focuses more on the lab plastics that are greater than 6 inches, the other is more for the plastics smaller than 6 inches.
So for the plastics greater than 6 inches, we created lab-specific recycling signage. And this is something that had never existed before. And so we knew we had to work with multiple stakeholders to really make it successful. So here on the screen, you can see our committee review meeting where we were able to show our drafts to lab managers, researchers, building managers. Our environmental health and safety team was there, our facilities team, as well as other sustainability staff on campus. And we were able to show them our drafts to see what they liked about it, what they didn't like, and what edits they had, because I think we knew what we wanted to have on it, but we wanted to make sure that it was received well and that it was actually going to be helpful. And in addition, we also wanted to make sure it was accurate. So we wanted to make sure what we put on the sign was actually recyclable. And we got this really awesome opportunity to go to the Tahigas landfill and to the resource center there. And here we got to see the materials recovery facility, or the MRF. And this was a great experience because we were able to see where all of the trash recycling and compost in Santa Barbara County goes. And so the way that the MRF works is that everything together is put into the MRF, and things recyclables are sorted by size and by weight. So this is kind of where that 6 inch rule comes back into play, and it all like kind of clicked for us, and it made sense of like, okay, what I really throw into the recycling is going to be sorted out by size, so I really can't throw something that's only 2 inches in there. So ultimately, we wanted to create signage that was applicable, accurate, and informative, and that was specific to the lab space, not an outside recycling receptacle. So this meant that there were features on our sign like the 6 inch ruler. And this ruler allows researchers to easily take their material, measure it, and know, okay, it's larger than 6 inches, I'm good to recycle it. There are other things like no food and drink, which is specific to the lab space, and again, not for that outside recycling receptacle.
So here's a mock-up of what it will look like in the lab space, and we're excited to announce that at least in this very moment when we're recording this video, we're in phase one of our signage implementation. So we're currently implementing signs in 6 laboratory buildings on campus, and we're really excited because we've overall received immense support from labs, and it seems like this is something that they really need.
In addition to the signs themselves, we've also made sure to fill those gaps for labs that didn't have recycling receptacles. And so we assessed over 15 labs and added 36 bins at no cost to the labs themselves.
So what about the plastics that are smaller than 6 inches? Unfortunately, like you can see here on the screen, oops, lab plastics that are smaller than 6 inches are very common in the lab space.
This meant that we had to be creative, and so we brought in art from scrap to create a long-term solution. And this program that we have is a partnership with them that's going to be free, local, and low emissions.
So Art from Scrap is part of the nonprofit Explore Ecology, and they accept any clean material from the community, and this includes non-recyclables, such as the lab plastic smaller than 6 inches. And we're really excited about this partnership because they're diverting materials that would otherwise be going to the landfill and bringing those materials toward reuse. So Art from Scrap donates to local schools, artists, and the community as a whole. And we're starting with 2 pilot donation locations this summer, somewhere in 2025. We're hoping to expand to 11 locations in the next academic year.
So the way that this program works is that we really wanted to ensure that this program could be long term, and we knew we had to find somewhere to store these materials while they were being accumulated. So the actual bins that are going to be the donation bins within the lab buildings will be serviced by AS Recycling's route riders, which we're so thankful for. And they'll be going around to those bins, picking up the materials, and then bringing them to surplus sales, which is here at UCSB. And surplus sales has this bin, which we were able to purchase with our grant funding. And we will have the materials there and they'll accumulate over the month. And then Art from Scrap has actually been willing to come pick up these materials on a 1 month basis, once a month basis, which is super awesome because it means that these materials won't be, hanging around for an excess amount of time. We know that when we divert them away from the lab and towards reuse, that they'll actually be going to Art from Scrap's creative reuse store downtown. So you can check it out as well.
And here on the screen, you can see Rachel. She spearheads the Lab Loving Recycling Initiative on campus. And we were really excited about this partnership because she's a lab manager at Elings Hall, and she helped us figure out how to talk to lab managers on campus. And we've been supporting each other, and we're super excited about her work because she recycles these gloves and instead of them going to the landfill. So we've made a lot of progress since we created our SMART goal back at the end of fall quarter. We wanted to improve waste management systems in 9 research laboratories on campus, but we've reached over 60, which is crazy. We wanted to reconnect with IntroBio, where we first started. So this is where we were first introduced last year. And we did. We helped them we provide some guidance on waste disposal practices and how they can decrease incineration.
We also wanted to ensure that the lab spaces we assessed had equal number of trash and recycling receptacles, and we definitely did this by providing those free recycling receptacles to them at no cost. And then finally was implementing that clear educational and informative signage. This was definitely one of our hardest tasks, but one of the most rewarding. We've been implementing across those 6 buildings, like Lauren was saying, and we plan to expand campus wide.
So on AS Recycling's website, we have a sub tab that's specific to lab recycling, and one of the features on it is these translated lab signs that researchers can download and put in their lab space. And as we reflect on our experience, we've realized that we've really improved in our leadership capabilities. We're really proud that we navigated a blind spot that did not previously have a solution. And we're really proud that we really listened to the researchers in the lab space. We asked them questions and we really listened to their needs because we felt like our project success was based on how it's actually received and not how we think it should look like.
So as we kind of wrap up our project, we want to look back to one of the diagrams on our website, which we like to call a flow chart or a researcher's guide to proper disposal, because at the end of the day, our project was really trying to simplify waste disposal for researchers on campus. And what we both took away from this project is that sustainability doesn't have to be something that slows down science. It can flow right along with it. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we hope you enjoyed. Yay!